This is day 990 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. I sponsor Kamashir Omar Arukh Yomi. Please tell me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tov Reish Ayin Hey. Sif Hey. It's Tov Reish Ayin Vav. Sif Vav. Hey, Isha Madlekas near Hanukkah. Or we call it Hanukkah candles. Motzia Esanoshim. Gamanashim. She goes to be Motzi a man. Shafio is Chayvus in Hanukkah. She's also required like in Hanukkah Kish, like a match game. Hammer you both on ace because they're in the same miracle together. Mishnah says that Chuvas Shmuel says that according to us, so we light everybody. Each person lights on their own in the household. A woman, nevertheless, does not have to light, only if there is no man in the house. And he brings down, and Sim also brings down, that some people say that every member of the household should light, except for his wife, who's Gegufo, who's like himself. But according to this, a daughter obviously should light. It's only the wife not, but a daughter or other member of the household who is female should light. Anyway, so she was also a miracle. Ayoda Nasta Nes, so received Tam Shine. Also, they were part of the miracle. However, a deaf mute, person who is mentally challenged, and a child does not like Hanukkah candles. Even a girl that put down the candles in place. It doesn't matter. They explain the main part of the mitzvah is the lighting, not the placing. There is evidently the Ran who says in the name of the Itur that a katan who reached the age of chinuch can light before a gadol. Zel Pi Yerushalmi Megillah is based in Yerushalmi Shamar Shen Higulios Katan Kores Megillah, that they had a custom for a child to read the Megillah. Koishan Lo Custom came, but all the other Rishonim disagree. Gam Megillah again came. Also by Megillah, it's not a custom to allow a katan to be motzi gedolim. And Kol Bnei Abayis the Kol Elchad Maliv Bnei Atzmo. However, all members of the household and also all life in them, each one for the other. Pshish comes out katan sheigia lechinuch madlik ne'atzmo. This child can also light for himself. The Mir Halacha said even according to us who light for each person, katan does not have to. Katan is exempt, but the minhag is I think Bismillah is light. Meshubur also says it's enough for a katan to light just one light candle every night. According to everybody, but again, our minhag is for many, I don't know for how long it is, but minhag is that everybody, including the Ktanim who reach chinuch, and even Ktanim who didn't reach chinuch, do like Hanukkah candles. So you already can still make the work with somebody else, or for a woman, when they, for some reason, cannot make a light and make a bracha. And they should stand by him, and he should have a mind to be motzi them. Like all brachas are mitzvahs. Even if he was yotzi, can motzi other people nevertheless. A person who's blind, somebody say is required to light Hanukkah candles. Abi Shein Roy even can't see. Shein Tzurch Lenos Meori doesn't have don't have to benefit from the light. Nevertheless, if you can enjoy it to somebody else by paying for their part of their candles, he should be mishtatev. If he has a wife, Ishtam Barach will have his wife can make the bracha for him. And Ishtam Barach if he has no wife, he made the bracha himself. Other people should help him. He should aim when he can't light on his own. There are those who are unsure, and they say, "Shesuma loyeva." A blind person should not make a bracha on Hanukkah candles. And the Arukh HaShulchan agrees with this perspective, and so does the Mishnah Berurah. Came in Ikar Pesum Nisa. The primary Pesum is the seeing of the candles. V'hu no roeh, and he can't see therefore it's strange language. It's appropriate as much as possible to distance the blind person from making the bracha. Tav Reish Ayin Vav Seder Brachos V'Adlaka. at the order of the brachas and of the lighting. Aleph, Hamalik Ner Chanukah B'Leil Rishon, somebody lights Chanukah the first night. Mevar Shlosh brachas, he makes 3 brachas. Ladik Ner Chanukah, Yeshnu Ner Shel Chanukah, there's 2 different versions. Tzur Girsa Shel Chanukah, the Torah version is Shel Chanukah, B'Shtei Tevos, and 2, actually, I'm sorry. Ladik Ner Chanukah is one approach. The second approach is Shel Chanukah is one word, Shel Chanukah. The Torah Girsa Shel Chanukah, B'Shtei Tevos, 2 words. Kena B'Rambam Perkim Layin Sham. Just like the Shabbos candles. Shulchan says Ner Chanukah. Shulchan says Ner Chanukah without the shell. And up here Arizal. That's also Arizal's perspective. Yesh Kasu Shel Chanukah b'Teva Achas. Now those saying one word. That's Shloah Kodesh. Kasu Ner Shabbos Osir Tashmish Shaykh Loshon Shel Shabbos. They said a Shabbos candle which is made for use. You can say the candle of Shabbos. And the Chanukah Shosir Tashmish, a Chanukah candle which you can't use. It's not only for Chanukah itself. It's not relevant to say that it's of Chanukah. It's not of Chanukah. Chanukah b'atzma. It's Chanukah itself. Nevertheless, there's no. It doesn't matter which way you say the bracha. I don't know if you will marry Ner Chanukah. His minhag was to say Ner Chanukah. I think more people nowadays who are not Hasidim have the minhag to say Ner Shel Chanukah, and that is, of course, what it says in the Ched El-Haim Siddur for good yekas. Beis, v'tai, you should know the sheyesh bracha zu, she'el gdol. It's a great question, this bracha. Ve'enu barchim lahadlik b'lamed. How do you make a bracha lahadlik? V'ab'sachim avoid the comment says she'ein adam b'chrach la'asosah b'atzmo. And the Sunday says, "Ein mitzvah that a person is not compelled to do himself." You also say the shliach do it through an agent. Lo barchim b'lamed ela be'al. Let's say lahadlik, but you say al hadlakas. But in Canaan, I'll have locusts in Chanukah. So that's the way we should make the bracha. Yisrael Yerushalmi Sukkah. Ketzmer al Ner Chanukah. Ramar Bucha Shekishem Sovitzon al Mitzvah have locusts in Chanukah. With the al Ayin Sham. Lamar Rukman Shabbos Havlik Ner Chanukah. Pleasant where say differently. Did Echem Midah Yishaim. The Ran and Pesachim says the came of the Kol Echad Tzayil Yishtat to be prete. Since people who are being yotzei are supposed to participate in the cost of the candles. Hagmoshe was as if the person who is doing himself, even when he does it to an agent, because he paid for it. Those who say that in the Masechah Shabbos it should say Al Lokas Ner Chanukah. So he says the name of Shibbolei Aleket, the Shibbolei Gwarim, the name of Riyaz, and the Tanya, the name of Rabbeinu Yosef. Yeshua saying to those who answer. They came to the Kol Echad Madli Beisos, the same by lights his own house, because it's precious, having Kamuta Allah, so it's incumbent upon him to do, even though he can be also through an agent, but it's not, the format of the mitzvah is one which much more closely resembles the individual mitzvah for the person himself. Yes, to be nearly, Arukh HaShulchan elaborates, since there is no house in which we don't like Hanukkah. And every person is required at least to see them. We shouldn't presume he said to publicize the miracle. Have a kamuta if it's a common every person to do. Lania in brackets he says here, Lania is writing near it seems to me, he says, the reason we say Lahadlik as opposed to Al Hadlakas is because Lashon Al Hadlakas sounds that it's already lit. And Hadlaka we just did. The Kaimel Mahani, we hold that doesn't work. You're supposed to make a bracha beforehand. So they have a language of Al Hadlakas and Chanukah, which sounds just like it has to be burning, but not you have to ignite it now. That's no good. Adlik mashma the low sagish adlik. But adlik means you have to do actually the mitzvah of specifically and intentionally lighting for this purpose. Lashon b'Gemara lo sagi the lav iu moil is not possible by by Mila Shem an agent, so they would say al mitzvah smila because it can be done an agent because it's not possible somebody else will light. But the Hadlik sounds that or that he was Nimo. I'm not sure what he's proving from that the Gemara about Mila. Yeah, that's true. I guess it's not, I'm not sure what he's proving for there, really. But that means somebody else can do the Mila. It's not comparable. Because there's a question whether somebody else can do the Mila or not, and here's a question of whether he has to light it or even if it's just lit, that's sufficient. I don't see this is how connected it is. Okay, Gimel, bracha shni, the second bracha, asa nisan abasenu, by me me'em azman hazeh, shasa nisan l'chara hu lashon kaful. Seems to be redundant. By me me'em, why is it redundant? Shasa nisan abasenu. Not sure what's bothering him. Let's re-answer. In this time and not in this time. In other words, it's not by Yomim Oheim ubazman hazeh. He did miracles for us back then. He does miracles for us today. No, it's he did miracles for us back then at this time of year. Wow. He says ubazman hazeh would be primary. Mishabur says no, Basman Hazeh, not Ubasman. Let's see what Arukh HaShulchan says. V'achei Perusha, this is what it means. The incarnation of Chashmonaim is Antiochus, prime miracle that the Chashmonaim vanquished Antiochus. Lo ya b'yom zeh shel Chavei b'Kislev. It wasn't on the 25th day of Kislev. B'yom Rabish Kavshin took time over that as they went on. We started before and continued after this conquering the land from Antiochus' forces. But in this time, there's an additional miracle of the jug of oil. So the bracha Migala incarnation afichas leva Achashverosh. The main miracle of Achashverosh's change of heart. It was made days before. Because the party Esther made for Haman and Achashverosh was the second day of Pesach. From then they started pursuing Haman. And the 20th day of Adar was a separate nation. Then the Jews killed their enemies. It says, the day and the enemies of the Jews thought to overcome them, and our focus was changed. So one of the two miracles, okay, it's very interesting. It says by according by Yomim Haim means during that epic. That was one miracle. Ubasman Hazeh means Anchaf Hey Kislev. There was a specific miracle of their Hanukkah candles. Okay. So my Bisman Bechirik, which we don't, many of us don't do. Again, Beryl Haim said it says Bazman. Ubracha Shlishi Shechion, third bracha Shechion, Tzachim Akankein, Lizman Hazeh, Bechirik Halamed. We Yakis do Lazman Hazeh, but I know Lubavitch at least they do with a chirik. Dalet, Milel Rishon Ve'el Mevarach Shtayim. From the first line and onwards, you light two. Right? Maybe we make two brachas. In other words, in the second night, two brachas. Adlik Shas Nisim. Do the bracha of Ali Neshul Chanukah and also Shas Nisim. Our Shechion ain't all the Pam Paramisha Shechion only make the first line. Only make Shechion words once. Our Shas Nisim Baruch Halayla. Shas Nisim we make every night. Shekol Yom Yonesif Neatzma Parashem. Each night there was a specific miracle from the oil jug. Yaskil Adlik Achas Shegoy Miracle Brachos. You start writing after you finish all the brachas. Over last Yosef, like the bracha as just before you're about to do the mitzvah. I've got this because the Halik of Shas Nisim Shechion the Chodesh should start writing right after writing Neshul Chanukah, because that's over last Yosef. I mean, that bracha is the bracha of the mitzvah. The other brachas are not brachas on the mitzvah per se. So therefore, the over the Yosef should be right after the first bracha. Over the Yosef, we just said over the Yosef is not relevant to the Shas Nisim Shechion, which are more brichas of Shevach. V'raya sharei gama roeh mevarach l'so k'mo shizbar. And and evidence of that is that the person who sees only makes the bracha. And the roeh makes the bracha shas nisim, makes the bracha after lighting, after somebody else lit. So he seems to saying, even though it makes more sense to say shas nisim while lighting, still we say beforehand and then lighting immediately afterwards. I am Masif Yudalid, evidently we'll see Yudalid more about this topic. But we're going to see more in hey. It's not finished with us. V'emeshkeinu Masechet Sofer. Zeh Shona. Masechet Sofer says, "Amali mevarach ladlik there. V'armanei so elo anu madlikim. V'yishua secha. Baruch atah Hashem shechionu. V'me'ashu asanisim v'kam l'shonom." So he has a totally different order. First you say you do adlaka, not totally, and then you light and say an aerosol while you're lighting, and then you say afterwards shasanisim shechionu. Shechionu shasanisim. August my perkim kasim shkina some Ram Rudenberg this I jump. The Rabbeinu Rama Kosam Shem Baruch Kulon Achas Ki Karmalaka. Rama says one says you have to make all brachas together before you light. Tamu Bar reason clear. The Ekel Shal see better brachas. How can you interrupt between the brachas? A call came and shall leave Mevarim Mekarim. So since the Hadli you have to make before you start lighting. Medam Elo so Mevarim Mekarim. So these also it follows you have to light previously prior to light. They shall have seen in order to be no interruption. The bar it seems clear to me the Gam Masechet Sofer and Kol Shemar Shtei Brachos Achar Nesol. It doesn't mean to say they make two brachos after Nesol. For Raya Shrei Turkas the last one Shlosh Brachos Yachad. The evidence is that he says all three brachos together. Chag Kosim Shem Masechet Sofer. They write name Masechet Sofer Lomar Nesol to say Nesol after the other three brachos. After three brachos. Kein Noring Maram VaRosh Zal. That's the meaning of the Maram brothers in the Rosh. And Sham. But the head came pure Shur Kavanah. So it's quite clear that they understood that it means to the Masechet Sofer means to make all three brachos and then say an aerosol. Or she told him Masechet Sofer, or means to stay with Masechet Sofer. So much three brachos become has to say two brachos prior to lighting. Tarbeito stuff with bakei. There are many mistakes in Masechet Sofer. Okay, Nikol Ladina to say all the brachos before lighting. Gamaram also Kain Rama. And Maria says the same thing, and that's also our custom. Vav meaning that we say a road so that somebody sees the candles has to make a bracha. Peish Rashi, the Zel Mishaloi leave base or night. Somebody they haven't lit on him in his house yet. Or Mashiach should be seen as something he was in the boat. I Trump. So Mashiach Kosher Lo Bi Rechadai Beso. It sounds like any time since they didn't make a bracha in his house, even though he is going to light in the house when he gets home. Right now, since prior to his being able to light, he has to make a bracha on seeing them. Maybe afterwards when he sees when he lights, he only makes the bracha not and shashanis because he made it when he saw the candles. Doesn't make a bracha. It's not just if you haven't seen, but if you will not haven't lit yet, but only if you're not going to light later than night. So also if they're not lighting for you in your house. They make a bracha when you see somebody else's candles. The first night you also make shechion. Later on the second or third night, Shabbat Ali does come to light himself at home. Eno chazam baruch shechion does not make a shechion kama shana. So here the Mishnah see alik so Laila. So here clearly that's somebody who's eventually going to light eventually that night. Eno baruch Hu doesn't make a bracha. I'm seeing it earlier on. Because Rush Baram Mordechai. Both around to Lamar Ran adds Lamatzinu the Mishnah mitzvah. We never saw that somebody's yotzi mitzvah she's chayiv. They should then make a bracha on seeing them as they're being performed. The bracket says here, if you are yotze already, you were yotze already, you still make a bracha. Because Chanukah is different. It's not like any other mitzvah. That if you're going to light later at night, you don't make the bracha saroyim. If you're not going to light later that night.